I'm about to go into the gym, but I just had to make this video because, bro, I'm tired of all these people saying and lying to themselves, saying that they want it. They want that lifestyle they see on Instagram. They want that physique that they say on Instagram. They want that car. But as soon as they realize the work that's required of them for them to get to that thing, as soon as they realize it, they don't want to do the work anymore. They don't want to sacrifice and do everything that they're supposed to do to get to that goal. But they could never admit to themselves that they're lazy and that they don't work hard towards their goals, because they don't want to admit that they're lazy. They'd rather stay in that comfort of lie of them saying, nah, I actually want it. I actually want to do this. I actually work hard. But nah, they don't want to lie to them. They don't want to tell themselves the truth, because the truth hurts, and they don't want to admit that they're lazy and that they don't work hard. They'd rather stay in that comfort. Bro, you need to wake the fuck up and tell yourself the truth. Have somebody else tell you the truth, because if you just stay in that comfort of lies, you're never going to get anywhere just lying to yourself and not realizing what you actually need to do, not realizing who you actually are and what you're actually doing. Bro, you're lazy. You don't want it, bro. You don't want it. You say you want the physique, and then as soon as you need to wake up on time, you don't wake up. As soon as you need to do that cardio when you don't feel like it, you don't do it. As soon as you need to do that workout when you don't feel like doing it, you don't do it. As soon as you need to track your food, track your macros, eat right, you don't do it. You don't want it, bro. Stop lying to yourself. Stop saying that you want it. Stop saying that you want it as bad as you want to breathe. Stop saying that you're working hard when you're not doing shit. You're not doing any of the required work that you're supposed to be doing. And I'm recording this without my tripod, because I want the message to actually feel heard from the people watching, and the emotion. Because, bro, I'm tired of seeing people saying that they want it, seeing my friends saying that they want it, but then they don't do any of the work that's required for them to do. And then when I ask them, when I tell them, bro, no, you don't want it, you're not doing any of the work. Nah, bro, I want it. Nah, shut the fuck up, bro. You don't want it, bro. You don't. Stop lying to yourself. Stop saying that you want it, but then you don't do any of the work that you're supposed to do, and you just fuck off and do whatever you want. Bro, you don't want it. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself that you want it, and that actually admit. They could never admit that they're lazy and that they don't work hard. They'd rather stay in that comfort of them just telling themselves that they want it, even though they don't. I'm tired of hearing, like, my friends, other people saying that they want it, because it just pisses me off that they just lie to themselves. They lie to me. They lie to God. They lie to their family. They lie to everybody who believes in them. They lie to their younger self, their self. They're lying to everybody that believes in them. They'll tell their parents that they want to be successful, that they're going to be successful, that they're going to get in shape, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and then they don't do anything that they tell themselves they're going to do. They're lying to themselves, your younger self. Imagine if your mom or whoever, your parents, your grandma, your grandpa, imagine you told them what you were going to do, and then they saw every single thing that you do in your life. They see you slack around, they see you procrastinate, they see you skip days, they see you going completely off track, going into the vices again, drinking, smoking, vaping, watching porn, beating your meat. They see you do all this shit, and then you still tell yourself that you actually want it, and that you're gonna cut out all the distractions, and that you're focused 24/7. You do all that, and they watching you doing all that. Yeah, you still tell yourself that you want it and that you're focused. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to them, and actually get to work and realize and know the truth that you're not putting the work that you're supposed to be doing. You're lazy as fuck, and you're not doing anything that you're supposed to be doing. You're not waking up consistently at the time you say you're going to wake up. You're not doing the work consistently. You're not working out consistently. You're not doing the cardio consistently. You're not doing anything that you're required to do consistently, but yet you still say that you want it. Bro, you don't want it. Be honest with yourself. You do not want it as bad as you think. For you to actually get to your goal, you can't just say you want it and then just lie to yourself and then do everything else that you're not supposed to do. There's a difference between want and need. You need to want this as bad as, like, if you need it in your life. You need to want it as bad as you can't live without it. That's what I mean. For you to get in shape, for you to want that physique, you need to want it as bad as, like, you can't live your life without looking like that in the mirror. Like, you can't live your life without looking like that. You need to want it that bad, Because if you don't want it that bad, you're never going to do the work that you're supposed to do. You're never going to go work out when you don't feel like it. You're never going to do the cardio when you don't feel like it. You're just never going to do any of the work that you're supposed to do. You never do anything. You never do anything unless you actually need to do it. You're not going to eat until you're actually so hungry to where you need to eat. You're not going to go to the bathroom unless you actually need to go to the bathroom. You're never going to get there unless you actually need it in your life. You're never going to get a new phone unless you absolutely need it and you actually want it that bad. You're never going to get anything that you want in your life without actually like acting like you need it. You need to want it that bad to where you can't live your life without whatever you want, without that car, without that physique, without that lifestyle. You need to live your life acting like you can't live without that thing, because if not, you're never going to get there. You're never going to actually like focus and be locked in and be hungry for that thing. You need to be hungry for whatever you're chasing, because if you're not, you're gonna get comfortable and you're just gonna be like, nah, I don't want it. But you're still gonna lie to yourself and say that, nah, I want this. I'm not lazy, I work hard, when you don't do nothing. You need to stop that shit and actually realize the truth and what you're doing is wrong. Realize that you're lazy. Like, actually admit to yourself the truth, because if you don't, if you stay in that comfort of lies, you're never going to get anywhere. You're never going to accomplish anything. But you need to want it that bad. You need to stop lying to yourself, saying that you want it, but yet you don't do any of the work that's required. You don't want it, bro. You don't. You want it handed it to you. You don't want to actually go out and work for it. That's what you mean when you say you want it. You say you wanted it handed it to you. You want it to be received, not earned. You want to just wake up one day and boom, that physique is just on your body. You just look in the mirror and you just look like that. You want it that easy. You don't want to actually work for it. And if you don't want to work for it, then you actually don't want it. You don't want it that bad. You're just going to fail because you don't want it, bro. There's a difference between want and need. You need to want it so bad to where you can't live a life without that thing that you desire. Because if not, you're never going to do the work. You're never going to be focused. You're never going to do anything that's required of you to actually get there. But stop lying to yourself. Like, bro, I need to emphasize this so much, because I see so many people saying they want it, and it pisses me off so much when my close friends do this. They literally just say that they want it, and then they don't do any of the work. They don't post. They don't wake up at the time they said they were going to wake up. They don't go to the gym. They skip the gym. They don't do like what I tell them that they're supposed to do to actually reach that goal. They just do whatever they want. And in my head, I'm just thinking, bro, they don't actually want this. They're never going to get there. They're never going to get that thing that they desire, because they don't actually want it. They don't act like they need it in their life. The times in my life where I said I wanted something, like 2 years ago, I would say I wanted something. I would want this business to work out, but I would say I want it, but I wouldn't act like I actually needed it to work out. My back wasn't against the wall like that to where I actually needed it to work out. And if you're not to that point, you're never. I wasn't to that point. I wasn't to where I actually needed it as bad as I wanted it, as bad as I wanted to breathe. I wasn't at that point in my journey where I was actually hungry, for and ambitious for what I wanted. I wasn't like that. I would say I want it, but I would still do everything else. I would still scroll and waste my time on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I would do a little bit of the business work, and then I would just go and do all the vices that I said I wasn't going to do. Like, just completely fall off, just going scrolling mindlessly, doing dumb shit that wasn't going to get me there. And it wasn't until I got to the point to where I actually needed, where I can't live a life without being successful, to where I can't live a life without being in shape. I didn't get that. You're never going to do the work unless you actually need it in your life. I didn't start doing the work that is required for me to get to my goals until I realized and acted like, no, I cannot live without this. I need it in my life. I cannot live a life where I don't live that lifestyle, where I don't have that car, where I don't have that physique. I wasn't hungry enough. I wasn't uncomfortable enough to where I can't live a life without it. And until I realized that, That is when I got to work. That is when I was actually consistent, doing everything that I was supposed to do. Actually hungry every single day to get into that place, because to get into that goal, because I was so uncomfortable in my own life, in my current life, to where I can't live a life without looking like that, without having that car, without having that house, without having that lifestyle. You're never going to do the work unless you act like you need it in your life, unless you act like you can't live a life without it. If you don't want it as bad as you want to breathe, if you don't want it as bad as like you actually need it in your life, you're never going to get there. You're never going to get whatever you desire. You're never going to get that physique. You're never going to get that car. You're never going to get the house, the lifestyle, the watch, whatever. You're never going to get it. You're never going to get it. You don't eat unless you actually need to and you're super hungry. It's the same thing with everything else. It's the same thing with business, with fitness, everything. You're never going to do the work unless you actually need to look like that. You need to want it that bad. You're never gonna... People don't get a job because they want to. People get a job because they need to. They need to survive and eat and put food on the table and get clothes to wear. People don't get a job because they want to. People get a job because they need to. It's the same thing with fitness. People don't go to the gym. I mean, they say they want it. They actually want it. But it's not like they need it. You need to want it so bad, as long as you, like, as bad as you want to breathe. You need to want it as bad as you need it, or else you're just never going to get there. You could relate this to so many different things. People don't, like, wake up in the morning because they want to. People wake up in the morning because they have a job to do, because they need to get to work. They need to do this. If they didn't need to go to work, if they didn't have a job to do, they would just sleep in. It's the same. You need to be that dedicated to your work, to where, like, you need to show up. You need to show up to the gym every day. You need to track your food. You need to hit those calories for the day. You need to do that cardio for the day. You need to act like you need it in your life, or else you're just not going to do any of the work. You're just going to sleep in because you're like, nah, I don't need to do it. I don't need that in my life. You're just going to get comfortable and just procrastinate and not do any of the work that you're supposed to do. If you don't actually need it in your life and you want it that bad, you're never going to get it. That's the truth. But you guys need to hear the truth. You guys need to hear what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. I'm not going to sugarcoat and tell you guys like, oh, it's okay, bro. You're going to get there without wanting it that bad. No. I'm telling you the truth because I needed this when I was on my journey back then. If I had myself to watch back then and had somebody that was truthful and actually spoke the truth and actually woke people up and actually be serious and talk to the camera, bro, I would be so ahead. I would have been locked in like 2 years ago. I would have hit all my goals already that I have that I want to hit right now. I would have hit all of my goals already. I would have been in the shape that I wanted to be already. I would have had that business workout already. I would have had everything that I ever desired if I had somebody wake me up like as somebody did from a video that I watched, the same as on YouTube. If I would have watched that video earlier, if I would have had somebody that would have woken me up, I mean, I kind of woke myself up by literally just telling myself the truth and telling myself what I need to do and watching others do like the work that they did, the work that it took out of them, the sacrifice it took out of them. But if you don't want it as bad as you need it, you're never going to do the work. You're never going to sacrifice whatever you want. You say you want it, but as soon as you need to wake up and you don't get enough sleep, you sleep in because you don't actually want it. You don't need it in your life. You don't want it that bad. You're going to sleep in. You're not going to go to the gym when you don't feel like it. You're not going to eat right. You're not going to do the work that you're supposed to do because you don't actually want it. When you have to sacrifice time, like parties with other people, drinking out, smoking, drinking, doing other dumb shit like fucking, I don't know, watching porn, doing all that useless shit. Like, you could drink with, like, actually, never mind, I don't drink, but Last time I drank was like a year ago. I've never smoked in my life. I've never vaped, smoked, nothing like that. I've never done that in my life. So I can't really tell you how to quit that, but it's kind of the same thing with any other addiction. Like a porn addiction, you just stop. You kind of just go less and less throughout the journey, and then you just live a life without it. You just you have to imagine yourself as somebody who doesn't even do that. You have to imagine yourself as somebody who doesn't smoke, somebody who doesn't drink, somebody who just doesn't do that. And that's how like you could quit it. I mean, it's pretty easy, honestly. You kind of just be disciplined, and you have to actually want the other side of it, the benefits of you not doing that. If you don't want the benefits, like as bad as you need them, you're just never going to quit the addiction. If you don't realize the benefits of just quitting that, then you're never going to stop. You're just going to stay comfortable. And if you don't realize how bad it's affecting your life, and be truthful with yourself, not no bullshit saying like, oh no, weed makes me more focused, weed makes me do this, alcohol makes me more focused, more drive, more ambitious, like weed makes me fall asleep easier. Bro, stop coping and actually tell yourself the truth that it's holding you back. You have trouble falling asleep with weed, bro, don't use your phone an hour before bed. Read a book, fall asleep, bro. It's not that hard. But you need to stop coping and actually realize the truth, how many things are hindering your progress, stunting your growth. You saying that you want it and you don't actually want it for real, that's hindering your progress. You're just lying to yourself, and you're just in a spiral of just procrastination, lying to yourself, and just not getting anywhere in your life. Sorry, but you're just running in place. You're not moving anywhere. You're just running in place, not doing anything, not getting anywhere. You're literally just spinning in place. You're not getting anywhere. You're just wasting time and energy by not doing the things that you're supposed to do. But you just keep lying to yourself, bro. Keep lying to yourself, man. All right, just keep lying to yourself. You're just never gonna get to your goals. You just won't get to your goals. All the things I tell my friends, they just don't wake up, bro. They just do not wake up. And honestly, I'm just literally just gonna stop telling them stuff, because I can't help anybody who doesn't want to help themselves. That's the truth. I can't help anybody who doesn't want to help themselves. If you don't want to help yourself, I can't guide you in the right direction. I can't tell you what you need to do, because you're just not gonna do it because you don't want to help yourself. I can't help anybody who doesn't want to help themselves. I can't motivate my friends who are super out of shape. They're super out of shape, but yet they still don't want to go to the gym and eat right. But they still want me to motivate them. Bro, you already look like shit in the mirror. What other motivation do you need? You look in the mirror and you look like shit. You take your shirt off in front of women and they literally look at you and be like, what the fuck is that? They literally look at you with disgust. Literally be like, what the fuck? He can't protect us at all. He looks weak. He looks ugly with that physique. He can't protect us or nothing. You put your arm around them and they do not feel protected at all. They do not feel provided for and protected for. What other motivation do you need, bro? There's other people your age who are in way better shape than you. What other motivation do you need? Other people are in way better shape than you. Their life is way better than you. They make way more money than you. And yet you still need motivation? Bro, you're born to lose if you actually need and rely on motivation. Like, you need to wake up and realize that you just looking in the mirror, that should be enough motivation to get off your ass and go to the gym and actually eat right. Bro, what other motivation do you need? You look in the mirror and you look like shit. That should be enough. Like, what other motivation do you need? Girls ignore you. Like, you need to take everything personal in your life, or else you're just not gonna change at all. If a girl like disrespects you, doesn't answer your DM, doesn't answer this, literally treats you like shit, you need to take that personal and be like, alright, she's gonna regret that. I'm gonna level the fuck up, and she's gonna regret it when she sees me famous and rich and in shape. That you need to take it that personal. Like, because if you don't, you're just gonna fail, bro. If you don't realize the truth that you're not doing the work, that you're lying to yourself, that you're not putting in the work that you're required to, You're just gonna stay and running in place, and you're not gonna get anywhere. What other motivation do you need when you look in the mirror and you look like shit? Like, I'm tired of all these people saying that they want it, and then they just sleep in and do all the shit that they're not supposed to do and just not do any of the required work. But yet they still say to themselves, they still say to me, oh no, I want it, bro. I want to change my life. I want to do this. Bro, you don't want shit. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to me. Stop lying to your parents, your family, everybody who believes in you. Stop lying to yourself, bro. Like, how are you not shameful of of you just lying to yourself and lying to other people, bro? Like, how do you not feel shame and just guilt? I don't know. That's the end, but thank you guys for watching. Subscribe for more content. But see you guys in the next one.